Like and subscribe and click the bell icon to get new video updates.
Ukraine rejects Russian ultimatum to lay down arms in Mariupol by Pavel Polychuk and Kara. An updated March 21, 2022, 4.44 first published at 3.53 am. Save login, register or subscribe to save articles for later. Share normal text size, larger text size, very large text size 55. View all comments. London. Ukrainian officials have defiantly rejected a Russian demand that their forces in Mariupol lay down arms and raise white flags on Monday in exchange for safe passage out of the besieged strategic port city. Russia has been barraging the encircled southern city on the Sea of Azov, hitting an art school sheltering some 400 people only hours before offering to open 2 corridors out of the city in return for the capitulation of its defenders, according to Ukrainian officials. Multiple civilian buildings burn amid Russian strikes on the Liverberzhin district of Mariupol, Ukraine. Credit, AP. All who lay down their arms are guaranteed safe passage out of Mariupol, Colonel General Mikhail Mizintsev, the director of the Russian National Center for Defense Management, said in a briefing distributed by the Defense Ministry on Monday 8. But Ukrainian Deputy Prime Minister Irina Vereshchuk rejected the notion. There can be no talk of any surrender, laying down of arms. We have already informed the Russian side about this, she told the news outlet Ukrainian Pravda. I wrote, instead of wasting time on 8 pages of letters, just open the corridor. Mizintsev said humanitarian corridors for civilians would be opened eastwards and westwards out of Mariupol at 10 am Moscow time, 6 pm 8, on Monday, if Ukraine laid down arms. He did not say what Russia planned if the offer was rejected. Vereshchuk later said that agreement had been reached on Monday on creating 8 humanitarian corridors to evacuate civilians from besieged towns and cities, but the city of Mariupol is not among them. She said efforts to reach Mariupol with humanitarian supplies continued to fail. Mariupol has suffered some of the heaviest bombardment since Russia invaded Ukraine on February 24. Many of its 400,000 residents remain trapped in the city with little if any food, water and power. Without providing evidence, he said that Ukrainian bandits, neo-Nazis, and nationalists had engaged in mass terror, and gone on a killing spree in the city. Russia has accused Ukraine as being under control of neo-Nazis in the lead-up to the February 24 invasion. Russia and Ukraine have traded blame for the failure to open evacuation corridors in recent weeks. Mariupol's city council said Russian forces had bombed an art school on Saturday in which 400 residents were sheltering, but the number of casualties was not yet known. Reuters could not independently verify the claims. Russia denies targeting civilians. Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky said on Saturday the siege of Mariupol was a war crime. Ukraine says it is fighting for its existence, and the president described the siege of Mariupol as a terror that will be remembered for centuries to come. The West has imposed sweeping sanctions on Russia that the Kremlin says amount to a declaration of economic war by the United States and its allies. Mizintsev said Russia was not using heavy weapons in Mariupol. He said Russia had evacuated 59,304 people out of the city, but that 130,000 civilians remained as effective hostages there. He said 330,686 people had been evacuated from Ukraine by Russia since the start of the operation. The Mariupol City Council said on its Telegram channel late on Saturday that several thousand residents had been deported to Russia over the past week. Fighting continued inside the city on Sunday, Regional Governor Pavlo Kyrylenko said, without elaborating. Capturing Mariupol would help Russian forces secure a land corridor to the Crimea Peninsula that Moscow annexed from Ukraine in 2014. The governor of Sevastopol said on Sunday that a senior naval commander in Russia's Black Sea Fleet has been killed. Post-Captain Andrei Palyi, deputy commander of the fleet, died during fighting in the eastern Ukrainian port city of Mariupol, Governor Mikhail Razvozhaev said on the messaging app Telegram. The Russian Navy did not respond to a request for comment. Sevastopol, which is a major base of Russia's Black Sea Fleet, is also located on the Crimea Peninsula. Russia's invasion of Ukraine has killed thousands of people, displaced more than 3 million, and raised fears of a wider confrontation between Russia and the United States. U.S. President Joe Biden on Monday added a stop in Poland to his trip this week to Europe for urgent talks with NATO and European allies. Israel address. During a video link address to the Israeli parliament, Zelensky questioned Israel's reluctance to sell its Iron Dome missile defense system to Ukraine. It was the latest in a series of appeals he has made for help from